Good morning everyone, it's the 1st of June and I've made the executive decision to start recording my reading for June because I missed doing reading vlogs and I didn't really have an opportunity to do any over the past month because I've had some other stuff going on. But June isn't looking quite so busy in terms of work and covering for people and all of that boring stuff that you don't want to know about. So I've decided to do weekly reading vlogs for the whole of this month, maybe carrying on into July because I've got some exciting stuff going on then. My plans for this week are a bit shoddy because I am not really in the I'm not really in the reading mood because of the things that have been going on. We found out last week that my partner has to go back to work in the office even though he's clinically vulnerable. We've been kind of seeking advice on that from his GP and things because he really shouldn't be going back to the office when he can fully work from home to full capacity and full quality. So that's been a bit draining along with everything else that's been going on. So I haven't really been in the reading mood, but I'm hoping to get back into it this week. First of all, my plan is to finish off The Bone Witch. I'm almost done with it. I'm not really into it and I feel quite bad because Rin Chapeko is a beloved author, but I'm just not really connecting with this one. I didn't connect with her other book that I read either, so that's a shame. I also want to get a thriller in there because I feel like I need to read something a bit more exciting. So I'm going to be reading 9 Perfect Strangers by Liane Moriarty because this is one that I had on my shelf. It's also on my June TBR, which I did a video on. I will link above. That's the wind closing doors in an empty house. That's really creepy. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. This one's about 9 strangers who are at a holiday resort. They start to die, I think. I've not heard good things about it, but I got it for free when I was in Gran Canaria last year. I'm also in the middle of a secret book for a secret TBR. It's a Christina Lauren book. You guys know that I'm doing a Christina Lauren project this year. I'm trying to read all of their books and decide which one is best, and I started in February and I'm still going because they've got so many books and there's been so much stuff happening that I just haven't continued with it. In case you're wondering why I look a bit like gaunt, it's because I haven't been sleeping well. I'm going to have to try to make myself look better in the next clip. Also happening this week, the Blackout buddy read is starting and I'm going to start reading White Rage. I think that's the one that I have on audiobook. I have either White Rage or White Fragility as an audiobook already and I've got the other one as an ebook. I'm going to start listening to whichever one I have as an audiobook. I can't remember. I got it so long ago. I'm going to listen to that while I'm working, so that will be playing in the background while I'm at work. So I'm hoping this week is going to be a really good reading week. I'm hopefully going to get my groove back. I obviously don't have any other plans like going out and doing interesting things. I might do some baking and there's probably going to be some cat footage, but other than that I can't really promise this is going to be an exciting vlog. It's lunchtime and I managed to make myself look a little bit presentable. These glasses are quills and they really don't suit me. I couldn't find my own glasses. I have no idea where they've gone. So I started 9 Perfect Strangers and I'm only 15 pages in, but I think it's exactly what I need right now, even if it doesn't turn out to be the best thriller or plot twist. But I really needed something that was sunny and kind of relaxing, and I think this is probably going to be, judging by reviews, nothing much happens at the beginning, and so I don't think it's going to be a thriller that like gets my pulse racing or anything, but it is going to be set at a luxury retreat, so that's something that I'm really interested in reading right now because that might help. So I'm going to be reading this lunchtime, which is now. I'm hoping to get about 100 pages through, and I think this is going to be like my daytime book, and then this evening I'm hoping to finish off The Bone Witch. I will keep you updated on what I think. Obviously I don't really have many thoughts right now on anything that I'm reading. The Bone Witch is kind of dull and I'm struggling to get into it, but the others I either haven't started or I'm 15 pages in, so there's not really much point in me saying anything. I really struggle, you know, to find sunglasses that suit my face. These definitely don't. It's a bit later on in the afternoon. I'm looking worse and worse, but I did start listening to White Rage. I wouldn't say I'm enjoying it because enjoying it just seems like the wrong word, but I'm 20 minutes in so far into the audiobook. It's informative so far. It's a good introduction. I don't really have much more to say on it at the moment. I did just answer the door and I've got a package. I actually can't remember where I've put that package. I don't know what it is, so I'm quite excited. I think I'm going to open it in a book haul though, or at least show the books in a book haul, so I'm not going to show them here. This has made my day a lot better. As you can tell, I'm suddenly much happier. I'm back in the same spot again. This is where I work, so that's all I kind of do at the moment. I've read 75 pages of Big Little Lies. I've done a workout, which is why I've changed my outfit. I'm enjoying it. It's not bad. The characters are amusing. People were right, it's not very thrilling, but I don't think it's supposed to be. I think it's meant to be like a small town mystery sort of thing set in a resort, so I'm here for that. It's very relaxing so far, so I'm okay with that. I think this is probably going to be my last update of the day. I'll speak to you again tomorrow once I've read a bit more. Good morning. I'm just about to make some breakfast before I start work, and I'm going to do a little bit more reading of Nine Perfect Strangers. It's Wednesday, I forgot to say. I'm currently 200 pages into this and I think I can probably finish it today, which will be good because I don't want to spend too long on this book, because if I spend too long on a book I feel like I'm going to get into a reading slump. That would be really rubbish. So I'm going to finish this off now or throughout the day, while also listening to some of White Rage, which will be good. I'm not sure what my reading plans are after this one. I don't know if I want to go back to the Bone Witch yet because I'm not really in the mood for fantasy, so I might try to find another thriller to get my hands on, or maybe I should read some of my advanced readers copies. That would probably be the best idea. So today has been quite successful, I guess. I have finished work. I'm not feeling too tired. I've only had one coffee, so I'm feeling quite good about that. I've done a workout which was cardio today, and then Quill and I just watched our first lecture on the Harvard computer science course that we're doing. I'll leave information on that below if any of you are interested. Basically it's a Harvard course that goes up for free, I think quite regularly. It might still be free now, and it's on computer science. So in the first lecture, week 0, you're introduced to bits, bytes, binary code and Scratch software. So we then have to create our own game on Scratch and then submit it to the lecturer. I'm not going to do that tonight, I'm going to do that probably on Friday. I've got the whole weekend ahead of me, but it was quite an interesting first lecture. I remember a lot of it from when I was at school. I'm about to finish Nine Perfect Strangers and then I'll give you my full thoughts on it. I didn't get to listen to any audiobooks today because work was really busy and I had people calling me up. I did get a bit of reading done at lunchtime, and also I didn't really want to listen to audiobooks with my headache because I've had a massive migraine across the front of my forehead and sometimes around the back for the past few days. And that's fine because the Blackout body read doesn't actually start until tomorrow, I think. So I'm actually a little bit ahead. But anyway, I will finish this book now and then I will give you my full thoughts on it. So far I am enjoying it. It's a very quiet, dramatic, it's not even a mystery, it kind of took a turn and no one's died yet, and it is just kind of, you know, plodding along, and I can appreciate that. The camera doesn't like to focus on her. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm so glad it's finally Friday. This week has been a bit draining and a bit shit all round, really. This week is almost over. Thank goodness I have finished Nine Perfect Strangers. This was a lot slower than I thought it was going to be, so I knew it was going to be quite slow because that's what I've been told. 300 pages in, it takes a turn that I wasn't expecting. I thought this was going to be a thriller. It's not even a mystery. So these 9 strangers go to this hotel. They've all got their own shit going on and it's told from all of their points of view, so they all get a couple of chapters each really by the end of this book. You also get to know the people who are running this health resort and they get points of view, and it's all very odd. I can't really say that I loved this book or even particularly liked it. I'm going to give it 3 stars because it was average. It wasn't boring enough for a 2, but it was alright. I kept waiting for someone to die or for something to happen, but there is no mystery. I don't know what you've heard about this book, but honestly there is no mystery at all. It takes a bit of a turn, there is a twist, but it's not really a mysterious twist or about anyone dying. I guess that's all I'm going to say. So yeah, this book was not great. I am going to count it towards one of my medals for the Read the Olympics readathon. I just don't know which medal that's going to be yet, so I'm going to have a look on my computer now at the document that Kayla's uploaded, so I can see where this one will fit in and then I can make a note of it. I'm not going to submit it though because the readathon doesn't start for another week or so. I'm not going to count this as like an official medal and compete with anyone, but it's going to be like a personal medal. So I finished that yesterday, and then I also started The Dark Light by Julia Bell, which is I think UKYA, about 2 girls. One is gay, the other I'm not sure what she identifies as yet. Alex is adopted by a religious family and they send her off to stay with a community, I guess, in Wales, and it's basically a cult. She's really unhappy about going there. The other girl is called Rebecca and she lives in this cult with Pastor Bevins, I think his name is, or Mr. Bevins, and he's the cult leader. So far I'm 100 pages in out of 200 and something, so about halfway. Nothing's really happened yet apart from Alex arriving at the island and in the community, and it's all very odd, and I was expecting that. I didn't know that this was going to be queer. I'm pleased with that. This is also going to go towards a medal. Again, I don't know which one yet because there are so many that I need to like filter through. I am enjoying it. It's a really quick read. It's not going to be an all-time favourite, I don't think, because 100 pages in I'm still not massively hooked, but it's a good book. That's an update on my reading. Today I have work again. Unfortunately I work full-time, so it's not really a surprise. I think this morning I am going to watch 13th though, which is up on Netflix. It's a documentary about the criminalisation of black people, and it's called 13th because of the 13th Amendment. And I think it's going to talk about the loopholes that people apply to that amendment in order to still criminalise and enslave black people. So I will get back to you once I've watched that. I'm probably going to do that first thing this morning, so I've got the rest of the day to kind of reflect on it. And I think Will's going to watch it as well while he's working in a different room, so then we can discuss it, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to be reading after this. I do still need to listen to more of White Rage, but I haven't really had time to do that during work this week because work's been quite busy. I really struggle to listen to audiobooks and type on the computer at the same time because it just gets jumbled in my head, and I actually want to pay attention to this audiobook. Maybe I'll listen to that at the weekend instead, but I'll let you know. So it's lunchtime and I haven't done any more reading. I'm just about to go out for a walk. I need to put my mask on when I go out, so that's why I'm not taking you guys with me, because you won't be able to see much of my face, which I'm sure you're all here for. I watched 13th and so did Quill. It was a really good documentary. So it starts off by telling you the history of criminalising black people in the USA. It starts off at the end of the Civil War when Abraham Lincoln, I think, introduced the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment basically said you can't keep slaves, but it also said unless people are criminals, and then the 13th Amendment doesn't apply to them. So obviously white people used that as a loophole and started criminalising black people, arresting them for the most ridiculous things such as loitering, and then putting the criminals to work because they lost their workforce. And basically they wanted free labour and still want free labour because there are still companies in the USA, I'm not sure if they're in the UK as well, probably, I need to look into that, who exploit criminals for free labour. The ones this documentary mentioned, a couple of them were Victoria's Secret, which is huge, and JCPenney, which I don't think we have in the UK, but I think that's a jeans company. So it goes from end of the Civil War all the way up to now. It talks about how the prison system changed in the 60s and 70s. The presidents Nixon and Reagan got involved with the war on drugs and criminalised drug use, and then the amount of people in prison went from like here to tripling. It's a really good documentary and I'm definitely going to look into finding some more. If you have any recommendations, let me know. I tried searching on Netflix for, you know, documentaries or films like 13th, and it recommended me Keeping Up with the Kardashians, so I kind of want to report Netflix for that, but I do have a couple more saved. So now I'm going to go for my walk and get back to you probably later once I've done a bit of reading. It's quite late on Saturday now and I just finished reading The Dark Light and I'm going to give it 3 stars. It's about as good as I expected it to be. It went exactly in the direction that I thought it would, so it didn't really surprise me at all. And I found it really difficult to connect to the characters because it's such a short book, and I don't know if you've been watching my videos for a while, you might know connecting to the characters is really important to me. I struggle with shorter books, including short stories. I never feel like I have enough time to properly connect to the characters. That's also a reason why I prefer TV shows to films, because I get so much more of an attachment to the characters after watching them for hours and hours instead of just 2. I don't really know what I want to read next. I don't really know what I'm in the mood for. And on Monday, in 2 days time, I'm going to be starting a rainbow reading challenge, which is what I'm going to vlog about for that week. So I don't really want to start anything huge because I won't be able to carry it over, because my challenge is going to be to read 7 books in 7 days. We'll see if that happens. I might have to extend it to a 2-week challenge. So I'm going to think about that. My plans for this evening are to watch the second Lord of the Rings film, and then Quill and I are having a spa night as a date night, so that'll be really nice. We're going to do face masks and relax and chill out, so that'll be good. I'm going to start watching Lord of the Rings now and then think about what I'm going to read next. Do you want to be on camera?
What's that?
Do you want to be on camera? Let's go in my vlog.
Do I want to be on camera?
The camera won't even focus on my face. This lighting is honestly the least flattering. Let's see if I can find somewhere where I look a bit better. Okay, this will do. My nose is broken out since doing that face mask, so that's fun. I just wanted to say today is Sunday. I'm hopefully going to be having a relaxed day. Quill and I are about to start watching the 3rd Lord of the Rings film because we've been doing a weekend marathon. I think this is the film that I remember the least about from the trilogy, so it's going to kind of be like watching it from like a fresh start. I have noticed a few kind of problematic things, I guess you could say, from it. I realised that Tolkien kind of uplifted the fantasy genre, but if this book was released nowadays, obviously it would be problematic. It's like, it's fairly racist. There are barely any female characters. And my point in saying this is that I really hope that the TV series that Amazon, I think, is bringing out does a better job with inclusivity and diversity, because these films are just, they have the most white men I've ever seen, and I am from a small village in England. I think I'm going to try to find some essays on the Lord of the Rings. I might read the books first, but I do want to look into kind of how it was written, kind of the history surrounding it, just other people's takes on the books, because I feel like a lot of people praise the books and the movies, both in real life and online, and I guess because they are such classics within the genre, but I also don't see many people on my Twitter feed or on my YouTube criticising them, and I think that's probably because I haven't been looking in the right places. Reddit as well just loves these books, and I don't think I've ever seen a bad word said about the books or the movies on Reddit, and those three sites are where I consume most of my media and where most of my friends are. So yeah, I think that's something that I want to look into, and having watched these films as an adult, that's definitely something that I'm interested in. But I do think I'll also read the books, because I think it's very important to actually read the source text if you're going to be criticising or discussing something. That's my opinion. I think to properly analyse something you need to have read the source text. So I'm going to have breakfast and we're going to do that now. I'm also going to read something. I've decided to read Christina Lauren's not newest book, it's the book that came out from them last year. So it's The Unhoneymooners, which is adult contemporary romance. This one is about a woman called Olive and a man called Ethan. Olive's sister has married Ethan's brother. The entire wedding party gets sick after eating from the buffet, apart from Olive and Ethan. So Amy, Olive's sister, says go ahead and take our honeymoon trip because otherwise it will go to waste. So Olive and Ethan go to Maui together. It's initially, I think, hate to love, then it's going to progress obviously into a romance, because that's what the genre is. I'm debating whether to continue doing my Christina Lauren project, because to be honest, most of their books have been the same so far, and I think this book is going to be the deciding factor, because at this point, or after having read this, I will have read the majority of their works, at least their adult romance stuff. I think that will give me a good insight into whether or not I want to do a comparison video like I did for Ruth Ware's books, because it's very hard to rank books if they're all the same and if I feel similarly about all of them. So I'm going to go and watch Lord of the Rings now, eat something, read the book, and then I'll get back to you once I've finished it, because I've only got a couple of hours left of the book according to my Kindle. I started it last night quite late and read about 10%, and it seems to be quite a short book, so I'm going to go and do that and then I will report back. So I finished watching Lord of the Rings, and I've also finished The Unhoneymooners, so that was a very productive morning. It's Sunday, so I'm still in my dressing gown. I cannot be bothered to get dressed today. To recap this vlog, I got quite a bit of reading done this week. Most of the books that I finished were fairly average though. So the first book I finished was 9 Perfect Strangers. I gave it 3 stars. I also finished The Dark Light, which is a short book, YA LGBTQ contemporary. I'm going to give it 2 stars. I think I did say earlier on that I was going to give it 3, but really it's not really worth it. Nothing much happened and it was a bit confusing. It was all very rushed and I didn't feel connected to the characters. And then I finished The Unhoneymooners, which I'm going to give 3 stars as well. Like I said earlier on today, all of Christina Lauren's books seem to be the same and there's nothing really original about them. This is just bog standard Christina Lauren. The hate to love romance happens, the characters get together, they snark at one another, which is sometimes quite funny, but it's really not anything outstanding. So that's how I feel about that one. I probably am going to abandon my Christina Lauren project because, again, all their books are the same, so I don't really feel the need to compare any of them, but I can find other authors to do a project on, I guess. And then I'm also still listening to White Rage, which I think I've got 2 hours left of it. I haven't really listened to much this weekend, but I'm going to start listening to it again during work. It's really interesting, and then after that I'm still doing the Blackout buddy read for White Fragility. I saw on Twitter some people were concerned about the use of the N-word in quotes in White Fragility because it's written by a white author. The author, I think, has a PhD in sociology and she's done courses on this exact thing, so White Fragility. She, in the book, quoted, I don't actually know who it was, to be fair, they said the N-word multiple times, and obviously that made people uncomfortable and angry, fragility. Personally, I think that was the intention of the quote. Having not read the book, this is just what I've seen from other Twitter users who have read the book. I think that was the intention. So I'm going to go into the book with an open mind. I want to learn things from this book. Hopefully it's a book that can teach other people about white fragility. So that's my plan for going into next week. What else do I have planned? I was going to do the rainbow challenge that I think I mentioned yesterday, but one of my books hasn't arrived, so I can't do the rainbow challenge this week, but maybe next week. I think next week I'm going to read some thrillers, hopefully some good ones. I need to get through some of my advanced readers copies. So that's the thing. I need to sort all this out before I start my reading vlog tomorrow because I feel like my reading is all over the place at the moment. I really want to read some good books, but I've been reading kind of average stuff. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching my vlog. Don't forget to check out the links down below for the Black Lives Matter movement, and I'll speak to you all in my next video. Bye!